Hello geeks, this is Sriram and I welcome you to my YouTube channel. Today we will be learning about CSS. CSS literally stands for Cascading Style Sheets. It is helpful to style or design our HTML pages. Let's consider this. Till today we have built this kind of page wherein we have some headline, some image, some description, and now I have added some buttons to it. What if I tell you we can convert this page into this one? Isn't it cool, right? This page has a card, some well placed image, the description, and then it has some good looking buttons as well. It has some good background as well. Isn't it cool? So we'll be learning how to convert our HTML page into some good looking card. So let's hop into. For today's tutorial, I have created cat details card after css.html. So I have basically put all the code from our previous tutorials in this HTML file. So the basic idea is today's tutorial is to give this HTML a better looking style. You see, this is how our HTML looks. I have just added two buttons to it. So basically we can start writing CSS something like this. I can give background color and then let's say I specify some background color to this. So what this means is I want to have this #EF color code as a background color to my entire body. This is how it looks.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
But this is not the right way. Generally this is called the inline CSS. So inline CSS is not recommended as it is less reusable and further it is less maintainable. So what we will do is from the day one we will start writing the standard way of CSS. That is called inline external style sheet. I will create one style sheet here called catcard.css. Okay, and I will refer this CSS in the document itself, HTML document itself, like so, with the help of link tag. Relation is style sheet, and I will give the path to our CSS like so, catcard.css. So currently our CSS is blank. There is nothing inside CSS. So in CSS we generally specify our rules with the help of some sets. So we specify some set of rules with the help of classes or IDs, or even on the tag. We can do something like this. For example, body, and I want my body to have background color of #EF, something like this. So if you go into the browser, you can check this color is applied. So generally we can have three kind of selectors, that is tag, then we can have class selector, and we can have ID selector. So we will not be using ID selector as they are less reusable, and currently there is no purpose to use it in our code in our tutorial. So currently we will go ahead with the tag as well as class selector. For this tutorial I will be using some cool font from Google font. This is Merriweather, and I will be importing this tag in my CSS with this syntax, with this import statement, and I want this font to be applicable in entire body. So I will mention something like this: font family Merriweather serif. So let's check how this looks into the browser. You see the font has been changed. The font is looking little crisp and better. So you can check as many fonts or whatever font you want from Google Font. There are tons of fonts here. So what I want to combine this entire HTML, that is heading, image, this description and this button in a single card. So I will start writing a card HTML, card CSS for that. Let's say I want some white background to this card. Then I want to have some box shadow, because card should have some shadow so that it is fairly distinguished by our eyes. I will take some color to it. Let's say 0, 0, 0, 0.2. So guys, I have taken this color, I have specified these colors and noted down in my notebook, and I'm taking it. You can take these colors, colors of your choice while doing the tutorial. Okay. So I want to have some transition. What is transition? Transition is some smooth effect to this box shadow. Like if we do on hover, like for example, if our mouse goes on that card, so what kind of transition speed we want to have, we can mention it here. We want to have this 0.3 seconds. Then our card will have width of 80%. Okay, margin of auto, so that our card is placed in center of the screen. Further, I want to have margin top, so that it is vertically aligned to the middle of our screen. And finally, I want to have some hover effect to my card. Let's check how this looks into our browser. Okay, yet we haven't placed this card class to our this after CSS. So this is where I should be placing the card class. Let's check how this looks. You see, the card is appearing, but still our content are not looking good. They are shrink to the 80% of the size, and there is nothing lot has happened to it apart from the background color to entire body. So I want to have, let's say I want to have some hover effect to my card. Because that will give some cool effect when my mouse is hover on the card. So I will write something like this. I want to extend my box shadow a little bit so that the on hover effect is identified. Again, I am taking these colors. I have noted down these colors, and you should not like kind of bother much with them, because you can kind of you can take the shadow color of your choice. It shouldn't be any kind of complexity. You see, when I hover onto this card, this is giving us some more shadow, as well as shadow is smoothly increased. It is not like shadow is not increasing quickly. So that happens because we have given the transition effect here, 0.03 second, 0.3 seconds. That's why it is giving some good transition effect to us. So let's create, we as we seen in the image at the beginning in our PowerPoint presentation, the cat's heading as well as cat image is placed in the left panel, and the cat's description and the buttons are placed in the right panel. So let's create that left panel. So how we create the left panel? Like generally, if you see into the code, there are two divs. The one div contains the heading and the cat image, and the other div contains the breed name, description, and the buttons. So generally, because divs are block level component, they will be placed one below other, but we want to place them in line. So for that, let's write some CSS. I will write image container. Consider this as my left container, and it will have display inline block. So what this display inline block does is it helps divs to get placed one after the other in row form, in columns. Oops, this autocorrect. I'll take 40% width to this, and I want to have some padding. For example, I take 15 pixel, then I take 25 pixel. So this in padding you can mention. So generally padding is left, top, right, and bottom. If you mention padding like 15 pixel and 25 pixel, so it is 15 pixel left, right, and 25 pixel top to bottom, that way. So let's apply this image container, okay, to our cat section, cat image section. Let's see how it looks. Okay, it has got some padding in here. Okay, this is looking better. Let's apply the same to our right container. I would call it details container, maybe. Yeah, maybe details container is a good name. I keep display as inline block. Make sure whatever number of divs you want to place one after the other in row, you have to mention its display property as inline block. Then I will have its width as suppose 50%, because some width will go in padding, so we have to consider that factor as well. I will give this div a padding of 10 pixel. So this will be padding from left, right, top, and bottom. So let's take this detail container and let's apply this to the second div, the div where we have the details of our cat, sorry. You see, this is how it looks. Now they are placed one after the other. This happens because we have give them two properties. One is display, so its value we have mentioned is inline block, and the second is the width. We have to consider width as well. If we are giving width in percentages, make sure it doesn't exceed 100%. If it somehow exceeds 100%, the last div in the row will be placed in the next row. So we have to take care of this part. Okay, now I guess Okay, let's make this breed name and description as bold. I will write some utility class here, maybe font bold. Okay, and it will have font weight property as bold. So let's give this font weight class to breed name and description as well. Let's check in the browser. Okay, so now they are bold. So generally, utility classes are the classes which can be used in conjunction with. For example, if we have in your application, you have at many places, you have to give bold texts. So you can create the class like font bold and give just font weight as bold. So you can apply uh, utility classes to those tags or those elements. So generally one element can have multiple classes. So let me show you something like this. For example, maybe that would be a wrong example. Maybe, yeah, here. In details container, I want to make entire details container to have bold font. Let's check here. Yeah, so you can see. So we can have multiple classes to our tags or containers. So for the time being, I don't want to have multiple class to my details container div. So now these part are done. So now the final part is designing our buttons. We will be seeing this in another video. Till then, take a pause, just look around, maybe have a glass of water or just have a break, or watch the episode of your favorite web series and then come back. We will continue